but with the change in ABA and the change of really society as a whole, this acceptance of neurodivergency or just diversity, it has been more accepting to not make eye contact, to not to hand flap, to speak repeatedly, right? It's all about how do you make it socially acceptable and appropriate. So with these meetings I do with you, Michelle, or other people, I don't make eye contact with you really ever. I look at your nose and nobody really can tell the difference. So I keep doing it. And that was something I learned on my own when I was younger, because there was a lot of, you need to look at me, you need to look at me. And something clicked and it was just nose, nobody cares. No, or mouth, nobody cares. Or if I don't hear you, right, instead of still looking at you and I need to think, I'm usually this way. And nobody cares because they know I'm thinking and processing. Sometimes when I'm speaking, and someone mentioned apraxia earlier, sometimes when I'm speaking, I don't speak right away because I don't know how to properly form my sentence verbally when it's still in my mind. Things like that, still accepted now. But in the workforce, when I was applying for jobs still, and I didn't have my company, if I had probably divulged that I had autism, odds are I wouldn't have gotten the job because of the negative stigma still. And so it's very important for individuals to understand that the diagnosis is not a cancer, as you said, Michelle. It's something that is a part of each individual and can, essentially be overcome so they can have their own successful and independent life.
Yeah. And I want to hit this home for everybody too, because I'm not a big proponent of this. I understand that the world is diverse. I understand there's lots of different people, lots of different abilities, skill sets, and things like that. And I love that the world is changing. But if I'm going to waste my energy trying to change the world, that's energy I should be focusing on helping my baby live in this world the way it is. So yes, like he's saying, it's fabulous that the world is being more accepting and it's doing this and it's doing that and it's neurodiverse and diversity in general is being more accepted as a whole. But I don't want that to become your mission. I see this a lot, and I don't mean to shit on puzzle piece t-shirt wearing moms. I don't have an issue with that. I have an issue when flying the flag of the puzzle piece is stopping you from actually focusing on helping raise your baby now and raising this baby to have the ability to live functionally as best as possible in this life. I've talked about this a few times. We moved into a home, our home 5 years ago, and down the block happens to be a group home of adults with autism. And I see them every day speeding down my block, and I flip out because I'm like, my kids could be in the street, the bus is coming, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking, at this, and I at first didn't even realize it was adults with autism. And I said, this was one of the things, like for me, it was like, if I can keep one of these babies that we work with out of a group home, I've done a good job. You know what I mean? And not that these places are bad. Thank God for these places, but like, this is my mission, not for you to go out and be like I'm going to fight for the advocacy. The world needs to bend to the special needs of my baby. That's not how life works. It's not the most effective use of your time. You need to be here, present, helping this baby, just as you promised you would do before the diagnosis came. And that's just kind of like, if we could hit anything home today, is that is the work. And that's what we do in the masterclass. I just think it's so interesting to share like the tribe aspect of it, like why we get so much stronger, so much faster results than the families off doing it themselves in the community. Every week we have wins in this program. So I want to share some information on our beliefs, how this program works, and then we're going to get right into Q&A. If anyone wants to be coached tonight, you are going to raise your hand, and I am going to share my screen. And Armando, if you see any questions in the chat, Armando's going to be talking in all caps so you can see his answers. But I'm going to share with you some more information, and we're going to get right into the questions. So you might be here tonight. Why are you here? Why did you want to come tonight to hear Armando's story? I know it's the inspiration. You wanted to see what he looked like. I'm going to be honest with you. That's why when I heard him on a podcast, I chased him down. I think I messaged him on Facebook, Instagram. I think I found an email address for him. I wanted to hear what he sounded like. I wanted to hear if that was real, because that's what I want from my baby. My baby's 10. She came out half as good as Armando. I'd be so happy. This is what's possible, right? I know what's possible at age 10. He's showing you what's possible at age 29 or age 30. I'm not sure if he already aged up already on me. All right. So why are you here tonight? Maybe you want to hear your child start communicating with you. You want your child to be as independent as possible. You want your child to have friends and engage with other children. You want a communication to just click with your child when it comes to speech. You want to stop worrying about their future and what it will look like if they don't communicate. You want some reassurance for yourself as the parent. You want to stop feeling like every bad thing in the world is going to happen to them. And you want to stop feeling like you can't live your life. That's one of the biggest things we give our families back is we give them back their lives. You're not going to be worrying about autism every minute of every day because we're going to be moving. You're going to see progress like you've never seen it before. And this is what I call the big three. This is what I was talking about earlier, and Armando will agree because we've already done a couple of workshops together, so I already know that. These are the skills I believe every child with autism needs for a chance at a life of independence. The first one is they have to be potty trained. The second one, they have to have minimal problem behavior or problem behavior at 0 so they can sit and attend at school, so they can learn, they can have a job. And then the third is communication skills. What you might want for your child, you might want to hear your child be able to speak and hear their voice. You want a child who can use the bathroom and is not in diapers. You want a child that doesn't tantrum or get aggressive with you or others. You want to have a deep relationship with your child who can share thoughts and dreams with you. You want your child to be able to go to any school, extracurricular activity, camps without their autism diagnosis making it impossible. You want to drop and go at a birthday party or a sleepover. This one was a big one for me. I was very excited when I was able to do this. I was scared, but I was very excited. You want to be able to go on a vacation and have fun as a family. You want to enjoy holiday parties and with family and friends without having to hover over, explain your child's behaviors away. You want to know that when you're gone, your child can be independent. You want your child to have a strong connection with their siblings and families. And now I want to talk about the most forgotten person in this whole diagnosis, which is you. You want an unbreakable connection with your child. You want peace with the diagnosis. You don't want to believe that autism is a death sentence anymore. You want to feel it in your bones that you didn't fail your child. You want to know that you left no stone unturned. You want to know that your children will remember their childhood and say, Mommy gave me an amazing childhood. We're on this cool trip to the West Coast. We've been to Las Vegas. We drove to Arizona. We drove to Hoover Dam. We did the Grand Canyon. I already forgot the name of it. I didn't even know this was even going to be possible for us. And this is the life we live now. She's going to remember these trips. You live every day knowing that if you died tomorrow, you gave 110%, no regrets. You know that you're raising happy, healthy, self-regulating children that grow up to happy adults. And this is, I wanted to share this. This is an email I got from one of our master classes. She had a 10-year-old that was pre-verbal and in diapers. And she actually, her name is Teresa. She joined us. I actually checked last week. She joined us in June. And when she joined us, right after it, she had a major catastrophe happen in her family. Her husband got unexpectedly deathly ill. She contacted us. She couldn't even make the weekly calls. We'll talk about the calls in a minute, but she couldn't even make her calls. We ended up supporting her through email. And she said, now more than ever, I have to double down on why I signed up for this program, because my husband needs me to take care of him. I can't be spending my time worrying about my son. He needs to start advancing. He needs to get these life skills so I can take care of the rest of my family. And she just sent me this email about a couple of weeks ago. She said, hello, Michelle, my Ian, who is 10 years old, is officially potty trained. And 2 magical things happened. He loves to watch people on YouTube opening and eating candy. So he got a huge 1-pound peanut butter cup for Christmas, and it was the perfect reward for potty training. He gets a piece of this little peanut butter cup every time he poops on the potty. And for number 2, we implemented a token board system, and his reward was a local hotel stay with a swimming pool. He literally went in the bathroom and took a shit on the toilet when she presented that, when he goes a certain amount of times on the toilet, he gets to go to the pool at this local hotel. His teacher is just speechless because she's never seen such a quick turnaround in any of the children she's worked with. And I can't tell you how much joy, unspeakable joy I have in my heart right now for all of us. A veil of depression that I didn't know existed had lifted, and I can see and feel more clearly now. This program we put in place is so much more fun and affordable than any of the treatments I've paid for. And this I found right before I started. I said, I remember getting like a letter like this just from one of Juliana's own teachers. This was right before she went into kindergarten. And the teacher was like, I believe this was her speech teacher at the time, said, "Dear Juliana and family, thank you for the gift card. It was truly a pleasure working with Juliana for the last year and a half and watching her blossom. She has made more gains and skills that I've ever seen in my 25 years of experience. I can't imagine what the future holds." And this came to me as well. This was one of my first master classes. Her name was Kimberly. I just wanted to share this with you in its entirety because I just thought it was so special and so intensely important to share tonight. She said, "Hi, Michelle. When I first found you, Easton was 3 and I couldn't get a firm diagnosis nailed down. He was maybe 20 to 30 words, zero social skills, was not potty trained, didn't know his name. And my biggest wish was just to hear him say, 'I love you.' We lived in a county with zero access to ABA, so I just assumed it was out of the question. I figured my only option was to fall in line and take what the school would be able to provide and just hope for the best, even though I knew it would never be enough. Today, I had a meeting with the school I found you the same day. I had one of his follow-ups. I was defeated and overwhelmed after they asked me to list some of Easton's strengths. I sat there almost in tears as I struggled to come up with an answer. I told myself never again would I be in that position. I had to find him help, and luckily I found you. Today, I had a meeting with the school regarding him starting kindergarten. He is set to be placed in a general education class 80% of the time. He is fully potty trained, has no aggressive behaviors, is able to self-regulate, transitions smoothly, and is learning to advocate for himself more and more each day. Both his fine and gross motor skills are on par with his peers, which has never been the case previously. His speech is blossoming, and he's grown leaps and bounds. He tells me he loves me on a daily basis. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, had I not found you, we would not be here. I sometimes worry what would have been had we not. Luckily, that isn't our reality. I don't attend any of the live meetings any longer, but I listen back to them. I put them on in the car when I walk or while I'm getting ready. I've been able to take something from each one. My most recent being the leisure iPad. That's genius. Listening to your calls keeps me focused and driven. It lifts me up and keeps my momentum going. I know this work has to be tedious and time consuming. Actually, I love it, but I want you to know it's so appreciated. It truly made all the difference in my life. And most importantly, Easton's. I am so thankful for you and your entire team. You have literally turned our life around, and I can't tell you what it means to our family. What you do for people is beyond amazing. You're truly a lifesaver. So these are all moms in my master class, and I want to just kind of go over like why you might want to join the master class. And one of the things that we do, which I think is so important, that even though it's a group coaching program, we make sure that we create blueprints for every individual family that comes in, and every week we build on what we started. And that's why we always get the success that we see. That's why we get the results. And every child on the spectrum is unique, and their program should be flexible and bend enough to meet that uniqueness with personal strategies. You're going to learn that potty training is 100% possible, that your child doesn't need to be verbal or mildly autistic. I want you to feel confident as the parent you were before the diagnosis came, because you'll be fluent in their language, which is behavior. We're so keen on that. I don't even think of our brain as less. I just think of it as different. I need to just wire myself to understand how that brain communicates on its frequency, and then I can teach her anything. And that's the skills we give you in this program. You'll start to reconnect with your child because communication is finally in place. We're going to get to the root level of your child's problem behaviors and treat it, not just treat the symptoms. We figure out the cause from the roots. These behaviors happen minimally to next to nothing to zero. We're going to teach you how to live your life again, how to show up for an IEP meeting, a holiday party, plan a vacation, and be a family. When life happens, we're going to help you to get back on track. If a regression happens, we're going to tell you exactly how to handle it. We're going to learn from trial and error rather than quitting on our kids. And the only true fail, I'll tell you something, because I've made tons of mistakes. And Armando explained it beautifully before. His mom threw a bunch of shit against the wall, hoping some of it was going to work. We did more of that than anything, both of us. But what made results happen for both of us is that we did not stop. The only true fail that you could do for your child, the only real mistake that you could do is quit on them. And Armando can speak to this personally. There were tons of shit that his parents did and his family did that probably wasn't great, but he still loves them. He appreciates, he knows he wouldn't be where he is today if it wasn't for them. And that's one of the biggest things I want you to walk away from. There is no fail. There's either learning or winning. And we're going to teach you how to build that champion mindset so you no longer have to worry about autism every minute of every day, and you'll get your independence back too. It's one of the biggest gifts, the unspoken gift of my program. So what is the Champions for Our Children Masterclass? It is a 3-month group coaching program with guaranteed results. When you join, the first thing that you're going to get is lifetime access to my self-study vault of courses that you can do on your time. You're going to forever have access to this. I'm building it every month. We have courses in there on potty training, communication, stopping problem behaviors, social skills, a picky eater protocol, which I'm excited because she tried a milkshake this weekend. We're very excited. Mindset training, stopping eloping, and I build this out every month. We just did a workshop on other people's opinions. How do we teach family members about autism? You're going to have access to all of these trainings and whatever new I create for life. This collection of programs is what makes me what I consider the Harvard of autism. In addition to that, you're going to get 3 to 4 weekly live group coaching calls. You're going to learn from the experts. One is me. I'm Michelle, the autism mom, life coach, jack of all trades. You'll come on my call and we'll craft out a personal plan for your baby. The second call each week is with a mindset coach. We already talked about this every which way tonight. It is our thoughts. 95% of this game to get you winning for you and your baby is what goes on in here. I fix this. It's going to be like putting gasoline on a fire with all the tactical that we're going to support you with. So you get on this call with Stella every week, and she's going to help you to stay determined. She's going to help you to get out of that mental mud that maybe get in the way of helping you to help your baby. In addition to that, you're going to get access to Armando and all our other BCBAs. Stacy's a wonderful BCBA. She was actually on Juliana's team personally when her language is emerging. You're going to get to speak to Armando, not only from a BCBA aspect, but an adult with autism aspect. You'll be able to understand and communicate with him and try and understand what your baby is thinking if they can't speak. I think that's so huge. And that's one of the things why you can never leave me. I tell them that all the time, you can never leave me. And then you also have Melissa. She's amazing too. Over 30 plus years of experience just with the BCBAs. Everyone gets their questions answered. This is a group coaching program, but everyone who raises their hand, we get you a blueprint, and every week we build on it. Every week we build and build and build until we get the results. In addition to that, you're also going to get 2 monthly specialist calls, both autism moms. One's a registered dietitian, that's Greer. I believe with some of our children, there's a gut-mind connection. And if we get the gut right, I've seen it with certain children who have major food sensitivities or allergies, that we get the gut right, then it clears the mind and cognitive abilities flow. And you're also going to get to speak to another autism mom who's a speech language pathologist. Everyone gets their questions answered on all of these calls. In addition to all of the calls and the lifetime access to the study vault, you're also going to get to be a part of our tribe. Like Armando said, I think it's so interesting. I never posed that question to myself or to anybody tonight. And he made a good point. Like, why do I see so much stronger results than people do out in the community working directly? My program is completely virtual. How is it that I get all of these results and these people out in the community are struggling? It's our tribe, and you're going to have access to that. You're not going to be alone anymore. When you're going to be able to post in this group. If you have questions for any of the coaches, Armando, myself, the speech language pathologist, the mindset coach, you're going to tag them in the group and they're going to answer it. So you have questions in between calls, we're going to support you. And if you're shy, there's no worries. You can email me directly. You join my program, you become a part of my family. You are my priority. I am here to see you win. And that's our support is our North Star. I can't even say that enough. This is what this is about. This isn't just about a business. This is about passion, my calling. I will do this till the day I die. In addition to all of that, I have an action back guarantee. When I talk about action back guarantee, look at Teresa. Teresa had a major life event happen. She couldn't come to the calls anymore, but she would email me like once or twice a week, and we'd keep building on her progress. That's all I need to see. I need to see you on 1 call a week. I need you emailing me. That is your action back guarantee. And if after 90 days in my program, you don't get the results you came for, whether it be potty training, communication, problem behaviors, all of it, you stay until you do, or I'll give you your money back. That's how solid I am in what we offer. And If you join tonight, we have added 2 special bonuses because I love to do games and bonuses and all that stuff. I think it's fun. The first bonus tonight is 2 private sessions with me and our VCBA Armando. So you're going to get 2 private sessions with me. That's over $1,000 in value to do a private with me. And you're going to get 2 of them. And then you're going to get 2 private sessions with Armando. So I want to just share with you, just in top of getting that all the details of our program. If you join us tonight, you're also going to get these bonuses. And then bonus number 2, with all of these things, you're also going to get 5 months in the program instead of 3. I'm going to tell you right now, 3 months is more than enough time to see the progress that we've seen. My 100% success rate, 100% of the 100% happened under 90 days. It would be highly unlikely to not potty train a child under a month. It'd be highly unlikely not to see a pre-verbal child start to form some communication in under a month. Same thing. You're going to have more than enough time in 90 days, but I'm going to give you 5 months in the program instead of 3 if you join us tonight. And that's 60 plus calls to change your lives. For coming live today, the investment in the program is $1,997 or 3 payments of $715 or 4 payments of $550. That's only $14 a day. 60 plus calls to change your lives. And all bonuses are going to go away at midnight. The bonuses again are 2 privates with me, 2 privates with Armando. You want to join now, you're going to put we're going to put the link in the chat box for you guys to join. And you have until midnight tonight. If you're thinking, can I afford to spend the money on this, or this is expensive? It's also more valuable than anything you could buy because you're going to get years back and peace knowing the future for your child has possibilities. The masterclass is an investment for the way you live your life and teach your child for the rest of your lives. When I teach you how to potty train your child, when I teach you how to build communication skills out for your child, you're going to be like Kimberly and Teresa. You're going to be able to apply that to every life skill that you want to teach your baby. What is it costing you not to get your baby the big 3 now? And I'm going to give potty training as the example because that's the biggest one that everyone comes to me. We all know the cost of diapers and wipes. It's over $2,000 a year now. The cost of the time it's taking you to change him or her, it's more than 135 hours annually. That's 4 weeks of your life, 4 weeks of your time changing pee-pee and poo-poo diapers. What's the cost of not being able to move on and teach other important life skills? You're constantly stumbling, starting and stopping potty training. What is it costing you time-wise that you're not moving on to other skills because you can't get this done? What's it costing you mentally and emotionally that this rite of passage from baby to child never happens? That cost is incalculable. Can you afford to pay this price any longer? If you're thinking, I don't know if now's a good time. If you had to find an hour of time, how would you do it? I'm just asking you to come to 1 call a week. And if you had to find that hour, how would you do it? You're going to get more than 1 call a week. You're going to get 3 to 4 calls a week. But I'm saying that if you just came 1 call a week, we're going to get your child potty trained. We're going to get your child communicating. Coaching with my team will actually give you more time. Time for our children on the spectrum is currency, and we can't afford to waste a minute not being strategic in how we're spending it to up-level our kids. There will never be a perfect time. We help you create the time and use the time you already have more effectively. If you don't have time now, it takes even longer to get these skills for your baby on your own. And let me tell you something about the I don't know now is a good time. You're already over showing up for your children. You're already spending countless hours changing diapers, trying to figure out what they want in front of the pantry. This is all costing you precious time. I'm going to give you some of that time. All I need is an hour a week from you. And I'm going to give you more than that. I'm going to give you 10 times more than that back because we're going to teach your baby. We're going to move forward for you. Time is our most valuable resource. We cannot buy any more of it. It's more valuable than money. Knowing what this is costing you and your family, can you spare another second not getting this done now? If you're thinking, I need to think about it. It doesn't take time to make a decision. It takes information. And we're here tonight to answer any of your questions. We think that the longer we wait, the more information we'll have, and we're going to feel better about making a decision. But in fact, the opposite happens. The longer you wait, the more you'll feel less confident, more uncertain, more doubtful. And that's completely normal. The reason some decisions feel solid or certain is because our brain gives us that feeling when we've made a known decision. from the past. But guess what? If we make all our decisions from the past, our results never change. Our children never move forward. I know that my program is different than anything out there. I know it. And my results are, guess what? My results are also different than anything out there. I just need you to take a leap of faith and give us a chance. If you keep making decisions from the past, it's going to give you more of the results that you have now. And sitting and I need to think about it keeps you stuck and not taking action to help your baby. Remember, time equals currency. It's the reason why you should join my program, because we coach you through the stuckness. If you're coming around and say, gosh, I need to think about this. Should I do it? Should I not do it? That's time you're wasting when we could be focusing on your baby. Indecision is keeping you second guessing and losing precious time that you could be making progress. And it's the reason why you have the results you have now for your child. All of these thoughts are way more expensive than working with me. If you want new results, you have to make new and different decisions. If you're thinking, I've failed so many times, I've tried everything, how will this be different? No, you haven't tried everything. I always say this to my families. I always call it, I've tried everything, the kiss of death. And if we get somebody coaching tonight, I'd love to coach you on this if you really believe that. Because I want to give this example. I thought it was a perfect example. Is how many times has everyone here lost their keys and gone on a hunt for them? I've done this too. And isn't it funny how you always find them in the last place you look? You can hunt and look everywhere, then they appear. It's always in that last place because that is when you've tried everything. Right now, you're in the second to last place. My program is the last place. It's where you'll find the key to unlocking an amazing future for your child. We work with you until you and your baby win, and we don't quit. Make this time different. And I want to talk about unicorn syndrome because I know we're going to have it tonight, whether you vocalize it or not, where you believe that Armando is different, Juliana is different, my child is not like them, they're severe and they're not, and da-da-da-da. My child has severe autism. This works for other kids, but it won't work for mine. My child is broken. I'm broken. There's nothing out there that will change the trajectory for my child. Unicorn syndrome is a self-preservation state. And it's bullshit, by the way. It's optional to think that. We talk about this strong in our mindset training. I can think my child's a unicorn, which means that the action I take is nothing I will try will work. So I don't I half-ass it or quit. And then the results, nothing changes for my child. Unicorn syndrome is a self-preservation state. If I stay here, I never put myself out there to have these hopes and dreams for my baby. And when that doesn't happen, I can't be hurt. Subconsciously, I can't risk trying and failing. I won't survive it. And from I'll tell you from my personal experience of trying so much shit, doing exactly what Armando's mom did, throwing a bunch of shit against the wall that didn't work. I am still here. We survived it. Was I disappointed? Did I have times where I felt like shit? I really thought that was going to work and it didn't. Absolutely. I probably had that more than I've had wins. But the reason why she is who she is today is because I never stopped. I still don't stop for her. We're still in the process. We still have things to learn. And that's why Armando is who he is today. He just said that to you. There was no quick fix. There was no silver bullet. His mother did not accept what the doctors were telling her about her son. Sitting and I don't know or asking shitty questions with no real answers keeps you stuck and not taking action to help your baby now. Indecision is keeping you second guessing and losing precious time that you could be making progress. Nothing comes from an I don't know or a bullshit question you can't answer. Just decide. Decide you're not ready and you won't do the work, or decide you're nervous but you're willing to go for it with me and Armando. Give yourself the gift of a decision. Honor yourself and your child right now. If fears and worries are dominating you day and night, then I want you to join us. If there's something in you that identifies with what I've taught you today or what Armando has said, and it makes sense, take the leap of faith and join us. Saying yes will have you and your baby moving forward today. Click the link. Jen's putting it in the chat box. Join us tonight. Remember, all bonuses are going away tonight at midnight. 2 privates with me, 2 privates with Armando. 5 months in the program instead of 3. Click the link in the chat box to enroll. And I just wanted to share this video, some messages from my moms. I'm going to take a pee break and we're going to get right to Q&A. So I guess I wanted to start asking you, what were your biggest struggles prior to joining the program?
You know, I was going around and looking for organizations. I was looking for help. So I started looking up online and I'm like, I really need somebody who's been through.
So there's no access to any kind of services over here in Ireland, Googling stuff and trying to find something.
I joined because I have a 3-year-old autistic son. So I knew I had to do something that I didn't know what to do.
Everything seemed to be waitlisted or just not available. To break it down to him, I had to have somebody break it down to me.
And that really got me worried. It got my husband worried and thinking, okay, we need to speak to PD.
I think my biggest struggle was understanding their potential.
I actually didn't know, like I was kind of relying on just the speech therapist.
I came in just feeling very helpless, very confused.
What can I do now that I haven't already done? You know, what would be the harm? What can I lose?
Before participating, we weren't making as much progress. It was slow progress.
I believe that I found you on Instagram.
She is very turned off by a lot of doctors and therapists and things.
I went back and forth and I'm like, she's going to start ABA therapy on this day. And I told them that was my #1 goal.
As everyone would be, I was a little skeptical because of how many times I have tried with Alexander.
On one end, I'm hearing, okay, she's, artistic and, you qualify for a lot of services. And when I go and try to inquire about, we can't service her.
All right, so now, I guess, where are you now? You and your child, now that you've joined the program?
Doing really, really well. I think their ABA program here is wonderful. We got very lucky with that.
One word here or there, what it was that he wanted, but not necessarily saying I want. It would be apple or this or that. And that has totally blossomed.
You guys saved my family.
Okay, so where I am now is where I kind of know that I'm in charge.
The changes in him in less than 2 months, I think I've been like 6 weeks, are miraculous. The behaviors are decreased. The stimming has decreased. The listening to directions has increased. The language has increased.
I just, set those goals for myself and cross them off and once I did that for me, turn my focus 100% and then I was able to get the work done.
You helped me formulate the confidence in myself to realize I'm ready to really go for it. I would not have gotten through it. It went so much better than I ever could have imagined.
I started listening to the tips from Michelle.
He's doing so much better. More eye contact for sure. We're working on talking, on saying some words.
Yeah, it went really well. The tips you guys gave me.
It doesn't seem like this big impossible thing.
I just been given something so precious.
He's more verbal, right direction, and I'm so happy to be part of this group.
We never in a million years thought that it would happen this early.
He's making a lot more sounds. He's now at that point where he's no longer frustrated since you and all of the teachers have given me all of the ideas and the strategies.
We all want our children to succeed, and it's just been wonderful.
Would you recommend our program to any moms or dads that are going through this right now?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I would definitely prefer anyone to this.
Yes, definitely. You guys need to do this program. It'll change you guys and your child's life tremendously.
100%. I do recommend it. You learn something new.
I would definitely suggest to go through this program for at least first 4 to 6 months.
This program has allowed that, and I'm really grateful for that.
Take this course, do the one-on-ones, listen and absorb everything that this team has to offer.
You guys have a gift. And you're sharing it, and that's amazing.
So I will recommend you to anybody, whoever is out there.
It's been really great. It's been really great. And
this is going to help you. You can learn through other parents' experiences.
Just do it. Don't hold back. Just go all in with your daughter or your son. And I promise you will definitely see results.
Awesome. And I wanted to share, Armando's here, and Armando has worked with, we didn't intentionally expand to international clients, but we actually do have quite a repertoire of clients from all over the world. And one of the ones that we just showed there, I want to showcase her more in the future. Her name was Erin, and she came to like a 3-day workshop I did on I think it was 5-day workshop we did on nonverbal to communicate. Her son, she's in Ireland. Her son, they have no support services there, no speech, no ABA, no nothing. And her son was almost taken away from her. She had problems there because he was losing weight. He wasn't eating. He was barely eating any foods that she'd present to him. He was almost on a G-tube. And she joined the program. She thought we were crazy and enthusiastic. I taught her on day one. I coached her on day one about teaching her son to make a sign, use the more sign for cake. I'm very intentional about not teaching children more or please, because they could fucking do that for everything. So I taught her to use this sign to teach him cake. And by day 4, he was handing her his hands to give her the sign, to help him give him the sign for cake. And they started in May with us. And Eli is talking now. He is trying new foods. He's in a preschool program. Armando worked directly with her, right? Isn't it been amazing just to see what all the way in Ireland, what we've been able to accomplish for Eli? You're on mute, honey.
Eating it all to eating all kinds of things. And she was a very blunt person, and she was like, well, now I can't get him to shut up. So it was just, she sends me videos and pictures. So it's been a joy to see that happen.
Amazing. Awesome. All right. So let's get into Q&A. Who wants to get coached tonight? All right. We're going to start with Kimberly Rubner. I'm going to promote you to panelists. What that's going to do is it's going to blink your screen. You're going to come up. You're going to unmute yourself, show us your beautiful face, and we're going to get to coaching you. And I'm going to try to answer questions, or Armando's going to try and answer questions. We're going to tag team you guys. Hi, Kimberly. How are you? Just connecting to audio. Okay. Hi, Kimberly. Are you there?
Hi. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you?
I am wonderful. So nice to meet you, Armando.
It's a pleasure to meet you. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Michelle, I don't know if you saw, I put it in the chat there that I would love for you and Armando to go across the United States and put on seminars. If you came to Eastern Iowa, I know the event center would be sold out.
Oh,
you guys,
wow.
I am not kidding. You guys should do that.
That's hysterical. No, I'd love that. I would love that. Armando, you ready? Oh, wait. Yes, absolutely. That would be fun.
Yeah. How could I say no to that?
Yes, definitely.
Please do. Okay, a little background. I am a one-on-one for a 6-year-old boy, not potty trained, autistic. He is, I'll call him pre-verbal. I hear him say things like, go, 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 go. And well, it's not really go, it's go, 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 go. And I know he's trying to tell me to go. He uses a communication device. He says, okay. During nap times, he will tap me on the head. And twice I've heard him say, Kim, Kim. I mean, I was like full blown bawling. To jump to my question is, how do I get the speech pathologist and the special ed teacher on board with me about his ADHD and his autism? Parents really push for him to use a compass chair, which is a blue chair with arms that wrap around it, and there is a lap belt. Mom and dad want it. We got it written in his IEP. He works great in it, but staff feels that we should start weeding him out of that so he learns, quote unquote, to sit in a typical desk and a typical chair. And I said, this is his accommodation. We shouldn't have to take that away from him. And they said, well, eventually he'll grow out of it. And my battle back to them was, okay, when he outgrows it, we'll address that in the future. But right now he's still sitting in it. My question is, how do I advocate for this little boy and get staff on board with what parents want to do? And I agree with parents 100%. Any suggestions?
Do you want to take it, Armando, or you want me to take it? Oh, you're on mute, honey.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I was a special ed teacher as well, right? So to be your child's biggest advocate is to speak up for them in the sense of saying, like, this is necessary. If they are looking to take away any kind of accommodation, they need to have data that shows that it is not necessary anymore and present that to you, right? And if they just say, oh, well, he's great without it, look at him, like, that's not enough. There needs to be hard evidence-based amount of data that's being given to you. And if they cannot provide that to you, then I would also argue legally they have no standing to remove that accommodation. To get on board with what you need, right? To get on board with like the other diagnoses, having some kind of medical documentation that states that he has these diagnoses are going to be your best friend.
Yeah, and he has the medical diagnosis for his autism, and he has the diagnosis for ADHD. He is on 10 milligrams of Ritalin twice a day. He's 6 years old, and he is still very, very active. And as far as communication goes, would you consider that pre-verbal when he can make those sounds?
So
You're on mute again. Oh, there you are. There you are. It keeps going in and out.
It takes a little bit.
Yeah.
I think so. It just depends on, does he have communication? And if he doesn't have communication, you can start on, either words or pictures or whatever it is. It's just making sure that he is understanding how to provide his wants and needs.
And he has his device, and he's getting really good about pushing more when he wants more of something that's on his tray. I don't ever refrain from giving him his lunch. His tray is in front of him. One of my goals with him is to pierce the food with a fork, hold the fork in front of him, and have him grab the fork and feed himself. And that I've come a long way with him in the last 2 years. But I do hold up his device to get him to request more kind of halfway through lunch. He's great about all done. Every time I take him to the bathroom to change his diaper, we go through the routine of pulling down the diaper, sitting on the toilet, even if it's for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I've got him independently now. When he gets off, he flushes the toilet, which is huge because it's loud, and it's those big industrial toilets at school, and he doesn't cover his ears and start stimming anymore. So we've made headways with that. And then I'll have him model wash hands in sink, and then he pushes that button. So we're getting there as far as modeling the communication device. Do you have any suggestions on how many tabs should be open or should be present on the front screen of a communication device? Are there any set guidelines there, do you think?
It's going to depend on what the speech therapist recommends, and the independence your child has. So if you're just starting out and there is, they don't have much awareness of the communication device, it may be best to have maybe 1 or 2, 3 pictures. But if they've done it for so long, it may be best to do it longer. But you're going to get better and more precise information if you speak to a speech therapist about it.
His speech pathologist sees him 20 minutes a week.
Yeah, let me just chime in here. I want to talk about a couple of things that you've mentioned. First is, now that you're kind of been here and you saw what the presentation represented, one of the things I talked about in the beginning are the big 3, right? So the first thing I'd want to do is that you kind of explained, like, you gave us a general map of everything you're working on with him. I want you to start to get more laser focused on the big 3. So that's the potty training, the communication, which in turn, 9 times out of 10, a child is engaging in problem behaviors because they can't communicate effectively. So if and then you're talking about the chair and things like that. I'm gonna talk about the chair in a second, but what I want you to do now, or tell your parents to do now, our priorities is potty training, effective communication, and then hopefully that will reduce problem behavior. As a gift for everybody who came and registered tonight, you're going to get my Autism Mommy Survival Guide for Problem Behaviors. It really tells you that every problem behavior that a child exhibits there's a function for it. There's one of 5 functions of the reason that they're having these behaviors, and it's going to give you effective tools to stop it. But most of the time, if a child is pre-verbal, they can get very frustrated easily because they can't communicate their wants and needs. So the first thing I'd want to be doing is really focusing on the big 3. The second I'd want to be doing is this communication. I don't like more, please, all done, give me, because I could fucking say that for everything. So I don't like necessarily hate it, but I hate it because it's not really moving us forward from a communication topography from my standpoint. What I want to see on a PEX board is the cookie, what kind of cookies, not just cookies. So Oreo, Chips Ahoy, oatmeal, chips, water, milk, whatever. And I get what you're saying. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be straight up. We have a speech language pathologist. It's a part of the program because she's an autism mom. And I like them for pragmatic speech. That was always super helpful for Juliana. And for children who have, when I think of a speech therapist, I think of a speech therapist when a child has the inability to create the fine motor movements of the mouth to make sounds. When it comes to a child on the spectrum, I believe that the majority of them, the reason they don't communicate, it's a behavior thing, not a I can't put the sounds together. Sometimes it's a combination of 2, but if a child is showing the ability to make sounds, I do see that as a child that has the ability to communicate vocally. If they can make random sounds, then I can teach them to make concentrated sounds that make words. But the way I get that moving forward faster is making sure that the communication, the bridge form of communication, which she's using here, which is an AAC device, is being implemented in an effective way, which means no more give me. It's, I want the juice, I want the cookie, I want to go outside, I want tickles. See how that's so much cleaner? There's no like misinterpretation as to what that means.
I agree with you 1000%, Michelle, and that is what I presented to her in our last meeting when we were discussing IEP goals. And the SLP told me, no, we need to focus on the core words.
And this is going to be some more advice. We need your parents in my program. That's number 1.
Yes, and I emailed them a picture of your link, and I said, please, please, please sign up.
Because this is what's going to happen, right? You're going to have
yes.
Amazing that a practitioner is on our workshop. It's not the first time. We have tons of practitioners that come to watch and learn, but you can't be the major fight for this. His parents need to come forward and say, you need to listen to Kimberly. Kimberly's with him a certain amount of hours out of a week. Kimberly can't fight the battle with the speech language pathologist at the IEP table. The parents need to be vocal. This is where you have to kind of be a halfway asshole at the table, but in a nice way, and say, I need you to listen to Kimberly. I have a home team that still works with Juliana. The school comes in, they all have their ideas. I'm like, oh, you're so cute. You're all so adorable, because my home team and me, we're the ones that are really going to get what we need here. And you guys are just going to help us, facilitate the goals that we have in store for my child. Even to this day, I want to talk about ABA for Juliana. As far as she's come, you guys got to see her talk earlier. ABA is still a part of our life. ABA is still the number 1 educator for my daughter. Now, I'm not shit-canning SLPs. I love their abilities to engage, but you got to take it, you're at an IEP table and Kimberly's with this kid for 30 hours a week and the SLP seeing him for 30 minutes. The best use of that time at that table is to try and find a way to collaborate, and the parents need to be leaning in, signing up for my program and leaning in so that they have your back with what you feel is going to be best for him.
And Dad is actually the one that gave me the link to watch your Zoom, because they're at a different therapy with him tonight. So
all right, amazing. Amazing.
Awesome.
Well,
I'm gonna go to bat for you. I'm gonna get them to sign up.
Absolutely. I can't wait to have them join. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Okay, let's go with Josephine. You're next. Jocelyn wrote, I'm an SLP, and I agree with a lot of that. My daughter is a gestate language processor, and that's an area many SLPs are not versed in. A lot of SLPs, which really blows my mind, are not very versed in ABA either. Because if an autism population just keeps growing and growing and growing, that I think it would be in their best interest to learn a lot about behavior as communication. And that's one of the huge things we go over in the program. You're going to learn the behaviors of your child and understanding that that's their ability. That's how they communicate first, is in behavior. In fact, it's not just our kids on the spectrum, it's all species. There's people out there, right, who say things, but then their actions are different. right? Because behavior never lies. And if you're very laser focused on behavior with your child, you're going to be able to solve for anything. We're going to give you the tools for that. All right, Josephine could not be promoted to panelist. All right, Mauro, you're next. Josephine, you could type it in the Q&A if you don't want to come on live. Also, true, it's a huge area of controversy in my field. Yeah, it's really interesting. I just like, it blows my mind. Like, we all should be working collectively to help the children, right? There's more need than there are therapists to service all of these children. We all need to come together as a community to help one another. All right, Mauro, I am trying to promote you to panelist. Did I lose him? No, let's see here. All right, I will do the next one. Melissa Perez. Your screen's going to flash when I promote you to panelist. She will be rejoining. There you go. Screen is going to flash. You're going to unmute yourself. You're going to show us your face and you're going to tell us all about your baby. Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Hi, Michelle. How are you doing?
Doing good. How can we help you
Okay,
today?
sorry. I couldn't show my face yet because I was sitting in the dark.
There she is. Hi.
Okay, sorry. Hi. So my son, Elijah, he's 3 and he just started school pre-K 3 last month. He just goes for the morning half and basically he's nonverbal. He's says sounds. I listen to other moms and stuff and, reading on the comments. He does like big sounds. Like he says like, we, and yeah. Like, but he doesn't like speak, obviously full words and stuff. And he's not potty trained. I'd love to join your program. This is my first time actually, listening to the whole thing. I've been reading the emails and just kind of going through it. I just need to be able to afford it. Like with it. Right now, we found out about he can do ABA therapy with like a $20 per visit sort of situation, with insurance covering the rest, which I'm excited because, before I couldn't afford ABA or anything with our other prior insurance. But I just have a hard time with him with his communication because I have a full-time mom. I work from home for a software company. I watch my kids full-time now. Their caregiver can no longer watch them, which is my mother-in-law. And so now it's been really stressful at home watching them full-time and working. So the thing is, when he's at home, now that I spend a lot more time with them, I notice like he headbutts, hits. He doesn't bite or anything like that, but I can tell that he's frustrated and he's trying to communicate. But he does do a lot of hitting. Even the teacher said like he hits other students or the teacher's aides or whatever. And, it's not like he slaps him across the face or something of that nature, but he does do a lot of headbutting and things of that nature. I just don't know. I don't really know how to help him, to be honest. And it's frustrating because I really want to help him. I just don't know how, to be honest. And I was hoping that the school, I know it's only been a month, but she has 11 students and they are all with different special needs and stuff like that, mostly autistic, but they have other ones that are not. But they're being pulled all left and right with 2 teacher's aides and then the actual teacher. It's hard, like, for them to be able to like teach them, like, obviously one-on-one is hard, but I don't see much progress within the month. And I just feel like he likes going. So it's not like he cries when he leaves, but it's for 3 hours, but I just don't know how to help him at home.
Yeah, got it. So a couple of things I want to point out to you. First off, absolutely love it. I can't wait till you join us. It'd be exciting to have you. This is one of my, listen, I'm an autism mom just like you. The only difference between you and me is I'm further down my path, right? And I have gotten really amazing results with Juliana. And one of the things that I'm going to share with you that we would share with any of our master classers, or everyone's going to get a tip. Your copays for your ABA, you can claim financial hardship. So you can contact the ABA agent and say, listen, this is going to be a major expense for my family. I can't spend this money, do you have a scholarship program where we can waive the copays, get a reduced copay? So you make sure you go and you do that when you sign up and you get your ABA going. Okay, that's number one. Number two is for where your child is at, I want you to be advocating. They're going to come in and they're going to do an evaluation. This is for anybody who's interested in getting ABA in the home. Not only do we coach you on the tactical to get her child communicating, which we're going to tell her in a minute, but we're also going to teach you about how to advocate for yourself when you're dealing with insurance, when dealing at IEP tables. This is everything that this program involves. They're going to come in and do an evaluation for your son because he's showing some self-harm behaviors. He's headbutting. I don't know if I think he's headbutting other people or maybe headbutting himself to the floor or
Yes.
whatever. You want to be advocating for a maximum amount of hours as possible. Now I'm hopeful, and this is why you never just like, somebody's like, well, I have these services at home. Why would I join you? Because I want to help you to make sure that you're getting the most out of what you're going to get at home and make sure it's the most effective ABA and the effective therapies and blueprint that we're going to put in place. You're going to take to them so that everyone's going to build on this progress we're going to create together. And one of the things we want to make sure is I'm going to hope that they're going to give her 30 to 40 hours of ABA a week based upon what she shared about her son. But if they don't, I want to make sure she's putting it out there that that's what she's hoping for. Do you see what I'm saying? Because now he has it through insurance. We're going to, number one, advocate to see if we can get a financial hardship exemption from paying for copays. And then the second one is we're going to see about making sure that when they come in to do the evaluation, they know where you're at, even if you ham it up a little bit. And I don't even think you have to. As soon as they hear self-harm, he should be getting the maximum amount of hours, which is 30 to 40 a week. Okay. So that's that part.
But would you recommend for me to pull him out of school to do full-time?
Listen, if there's a problem where I can't fulfill the 30 or 40 hours based upon where he's at, and listen, everyone's going to have a flavor of this. If you asked Armando, because I've heard him say this, he loves center base. I personally believe, depending on where the child's at, I like one-to-one. And then center base later on. There's really no right or wrong to this. What I do say though, is that ABA is going to be your most effective use of time. Remember, we talked about time for you and your baby is more valuable than money. You can always make money. You can always figure out a way to come up with the money for the program, always figure out a way to come up with money for copays, right? If the desire is high enough, then you're going to figure it out. It's just, but time, you can't buy more time. You can use your time more effectively, which is what I hope our program does for all of our master classes. We give them back time to do other things. So in this aspect for you, where time is your most important investment, it's also your child's most important investment. So the only reason I would say I'm not sure about the program is if it got in the way of him being able to utilize all the hours that we're going to ask for. So I don't have an issue with it. Some children, even at a pre-verbal stage, can get a lot from the dialoguing of other children in the classroom. But if this is a special needs preschool, another thing to keep in mind is we want to make sure he's middle of the pack. If your child is the peer role model in there, that's no good. We always want to make sure there's children above him in skill set and below him. So there's always somebody to learn from. If that's the case, I love it. He could stay. The only reason I may consider leaving is only because I want to get the self-injurious behaviors under control. And I want him to have some type of level of communication. And then I would represent that type of environment. But she can keep it. As long as she can do the full amount of hours they give her, then I don't have an issue with that. Okay. All right, so now putting that aside, now let's talk about communication for you, right? Because you say you're so frustrated, you want to help this baby. So one of the things that I would do for him, right, because he is pre-verbal, I always am very hopeful. If a child makes sounds, a child had words and lost them, that was my daughter. A child who makes sounds can make intentional sounds. That's my belief, right? And this is one of the things we talk about in the program is that our mind, I always say the mind, it's not my quote, but I love it. The mind is like the furnace of your home, and it can warm it or it can burn it down. And I could look at sounds and say, oh, it's just mumbling and it doesn't mean anything, or I could get excited because that means that if she can make these kinds of sounds, and maybe she can make intentional sounds that mean words.
Right.
Which mom, right, is going to move further, faster, and harder for their baby? The one that believes babble is bullshit and that's nonverbal, or the mom who believes that babble is like language is coming? I remember thinking that she had words, lost them, then started doing this weird thing like mom, mom, mom. I used to pretend it was like her calling for me. I'm like, okay, even though it really wasn't for me, but it just got me excited. Like she could say mom, 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 like as a stem. Then maybe one day she can say mom, 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 and really mean me. You see what I'm saying? So I want you to look at what he's presenting as like the little, like burning, like the little flint and the little fire that we can just blow up into a big flame. And the way we're going to do that with him is you're going to pick either it's going to be a picture exchange communication system. That's a PEC system. That's a book with a bunch of pictures. I think that would probably be the easiest for you to implement until you get your ABA team rolling. Then the other one is a communication device. And what we did with Juliana was sign language. For everyone who was wondering like why I picked sign language for Juliana, I didn't. What ended up happening was we started to teach her PECs, and one of her stims is she'd take things in her hands and just start twisting them. And when we were starting to teach her PECs, I'm handing her the card for Cheerios and she's just flipping in her hand. I'm looking, I'm like, this is not going to fucking work. Or it was going to take a lot longer to learn. I said, what else? What are our other options? And then they said sign language. So what I'm telling you is exactly how we taught Juliana. What you're going to do is you're going to go around the house. You're going to think about everything he asks for in a day. So let's say he asks for cookies, chips, juice, tickles, TV, iPad, right? You're going to go around, take actual pictures of the things in your environment. And you're going to create a book. I think I laminated mine, put them on a magnet and just put them on a magnet board. And she could just pull them off whenever she needed them. And this is going to be his talker, his communication. It's going to be his bridge, right? If we imagine thought to voice, I always imagine a neural pathway that's asleep. Doing PECs is going to kickstart that. And it's going to give you more of not only have studies proven that if you teach a child, a pre-verbal child, PECs, AAC, or sign language, they have a better shot at vocal language. That's all I've ever seen in the program, period. So what we were going to do, you're going to go and you're going to list out in your head everything he asks for in a day, right? You're going to ask everything he asks for a day. You're going to make a picture of it and you're going to show him how does he tell you he wants a cookie? Does he hand lead you to the fridge, pantry, whatever?
I'll be honest, he doesn't eat any sweets.
Oh, lucky
He's
you.
a favorite one.
Yeah, we'll see about that. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Right.
So
No, it's funny. He did eat a donut the other day. I was very surprised.
Oh, okay. But what if he wanted something? How does he tell you?
Honestly, he normally just starts crying, and we start like, usually it's because he wants a bottle or something, you know. Okay. He drinks out of a sippy cup, but like milk, he still drinks out of a bottle. So I'm like, I'll pick up the bottle and he gets like very excited. I'm like, okay, that's what he wants. Last week was the first week ever that he's actually when we went to the donut shop, like to get kolaches or whatever, he took my hand and slapped the glass like on the donut.
Amazing. Yes.
I almost cried there, and they're like, okay, we can look for your flavor. I was like, that's not what I'm crying about. But yeah, he did that. Amazing. And for the first time with my husband, he was getting frustrated when we try to feed him. He like runs around the house all the time. And we're like, we don't have time to be chasing. I mean, we'll feed him, of course, you know, but we don't have time to be chasing him all day like that. And then he was like, all right, I'm going to eat my food. And then if he's ready later, we'll feed him. And he walked away. Well, he brought the fork to my husband and was like stuck in his hand. He doesn't know how to use it himself, but he knows what that was for. And that was the first time I've ever done that.
That's a representation. I acknowledge fork means food. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why this picture system is going to work so well for him. You're going to show him pictures of everything that he could potentially have. Now, let me tell you two things that's happened here. Number one is when he cries, that has now become his form of communication to get what he needs. And we don't want that anymore. So what happened is he cried, we gave him something, he stopped crying. We now taught him that crying gets me anything I need, right? So now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to show him a different way, meaning that we have to stop reinforcing crying and show him, if you show me the picture, you're going to get the thing every time. Do you see what I'm saying? So what we're going to do is when you know he's getting ready to like fuss for a bottle, you're going to show him the picture of the bottle. It's like, do you want this? I should just let him put his hand over hand. You're going to take his hand and you're going to put it on the picture and then immediately give him the bottle. And we're going to start making these connections. He's going to start making these connections. And he already has done this in his environment. He was in the donut shop and he grabbed mom and slapped the glass because visually he saw something that he wanted. So now we just want to create that visual world in his home. And by doing this alone, Melissa, I think you're going to see an amazing reduction of some of the behaviors that you're seeing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I'm so excited for you. And another thing that she said, why would he go out of his way for the first time ever in a donut shop to bring her to the glass and slap it? the desire was high. This is one of the biggest things we teach in the program. If you want your child potty trained, if you want your child to communicate, you've got to create an environment where the desire for it is high. Donut shops are amazing. They make those donuts behind the glass look mouth-watering delicious. And he got it, right? He got that feeling. He so much so that he pulled her hand and slapped the glass. You need to make that happen in your home every single day. You do that, he's going to start communicating. You do that, he's going to stop headbutting.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. All right, perfect. It was great speaking to you. Was that helpful?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you.
All right, no problem. And Armando is about ready to collapse on us. So we just want to say good night. I'm so thankful to have you. I'm gonna coach one more person, but if anyone has any last minute questions for Armando, I hope you feel better. Armando is going to be back every month this year to do a session like this. Armando, did you have a special diet growing up?
I was very picky, and I am still picky, but I am getting better. So no, I did not have a special diet. And yeah, now I'm trying all kinds of different foods. So.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, if anyone has any questions for Armando, this is your last call. Otherwise, he's going to step away. Armando, it was a pleasure having you. And guess what? You joined the program. You can talk to Armando anytime you want. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right.
I love to talk, so that's
yes.
great.
Yes, this is a very quiet Armando. I wanted to share. You were a trooper. Thank you for showing up tonight. I know everybody wanted to hear from you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, you guys.
All right, bye. All right, everybody. We're going to do Wheel of Names. We're going to do Wheel of Names. Jen will do Wheel of Names. I forgot to do it before our coaching. We're going to do Wheel of Names. Everyone who's here right now, you're going to get a chance. We're going to do two contests. We're going to do one private session with me, one private session with Armando on Wheel of Names. Jen, are we ready? Amanda, when you start talking, oh, Nakisha, welcome to the program.
Yes,
so excited to have you. Are you ready for Wheel of Names?
Almost there.
All right, she's almost there. Let me just do a quick question. Thank you, Michelle. You are amazing. Oh, happy to have you. Let's see here. Thank you. All right, who wants to get coaching? I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to do the Wheel of Names, and then we'll wrap for the night. I'm going to do Laura Corpus 86, and she is coming in. So happy to have everybody. I'm so glad Armando was a trooper. I was like, please, you've got to come tonight. They want to see you. Hi, how are you, Laura? I think your audio isn't connected yet. You're truly an inspiration. No, you are truly an inspiration. I am just, yes. Oh, hi, how are you? Oh, yeah, we lost you. Oh, there you go. Oh, you're on mute. So you just got, are you there? Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, this blows. How can I help my son sit in the bathtub? All right, so that's a good one, Latanya. So how do while Laura's trying to fix her audio, how can I help my son sit in the bathtub? So that what I do, sitting in the bathtub, this is a perfect one to talk about potty phobia. So if their child is having an issue where they don't want to sit somewhere, whether it be sit in the tub or sit in the toilet, right? You can't potty train, you can't give a bath until we can get them in the tub or get them on the toilet, right? So the first thing we want to do is take a baseline. So if I put him in the tub, how long will he stay in there till he pops out? So let's say that's 30 seconds. And the same tool or technique will apply to potty phobia. That means a child sitting on the potty, if he sits for 10 seconds and pops up, that's your baseline. Then I want you to get your phone. This isn't a phone, but you're going to get your phone. You're going to set an audio timer for 5 seconds more. And you say, guess what, baby? If you stay on till 5 seconds, I'm going to give you a little treat, whether it be a sticker. We had moms do it with Skittles, M&Ms, hugs, piggyback ride around the house, whatever it is. And then you just slowly build up that time. And then with the toilet, once you get them sitting 3 to 5 minutes, then they're ready to potty train. You cannot potty train until they'll sit enough for a pee or poop to come out. And when it comes to the bath, what we want to do is we want to figure out what it is about sitting in the bath that's the problem. Is it the water? Is it just the feeling of the tub? Is it the cold tub? We'd want to just work on just getting him to sit in the tub neutrally without any water running, then see if he'll sit neutrally with the water running, or if he'll just jump in a tub with water already in it and not be in there when it's running, all that good stuff. Okay, Laura, we lost you. Oh no. Let's see. All right, let me just see. Laura, are you still here? Oh, we're going to do Wheel of Names real quick, everybody. All right, let's do Wheel of Names. Hopefully Laura will come back and then we'll do one more. Let's spin the wheel. First winner will get the session with Armando. Let's hit it. Don't know why chat is not showing. My name is Lavinia. Forward to meeting you guys when I can. Hi, Lavinia. How are you? I see you. No problem, Latanya. All right, come on, spin the wheel. Jen, you're not spinning the wheel. I'm back. Can we try again, please? Absolutely, Laura.
Yeah,
Give me
we
one.
have already a winner. It's
Oh, we
Omolara.
do. Is it Liz Gomez?
Omolara.
Malara. How do you spell the name?
Omo.
All right, it's not showing on the screen. So, all right, so can you put her name put her name in the chat. You want a free session with Armando, and then you know what, Jen, just do a random. Yeah, there she is. Amalar, you want your free 20-minute session with Armando? Email Michelle at michellebrodgers.com. Here, I'll just put my email here. michellebrodgers.com, and we'll get you your free session. And we'll do one more at the end of the night. We'll do one more, and I'm going to bring Laura back up. Laura, can you raise your hand so I could see you? Where are you? Oh, no, you're there. Okay, great. All right. Can you get off audio? Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yay.
Yay. Oh my gosh, it works. Okay. First of all, thank you for all the information you have. It's absolutely amazing. I grocery shopped and everything while I'm at dinner right now. I was like, I'm sorry, guys, I gotta go outside. I have a question. I have a 3.5-year-old son. He kind of like the story of your daughters, regressed. We did everything for his gut. He got microbiota transplant. We fermented foods, GAPS diet. We went on GAPS diet. He got potty trained. He's been in ABA since it'll be a year in the first week of March. I do ABA speech, OT. We've been doing everything, and we saw the neurologist 2 weeks ago, and he told us he was just blown away how much Eduardo has improved. And, one thing he was blown away by was that now Eduardo can communicate, because he was diagnosed with moderate autism and receptive and expressive language disorder, because he couldn't understand nor could he communicate. It was just screaming. And so I'm so sorry. And so he recommended at the last appointment that we put him in half-day school. I'm a registered nurse. I work at a private school. I moved to the school district because of my kids. I have 4 kids. Eduardo's my second kid. He's the one who is diagnosed with autism. They recommended him doing half day in the morning. I'm super scared because I know that he can communicate now, and now he actually can learn. Like, his cognition disappeared when he regressed. It disappeared. Like, my son couldn't do anything. Like, he reverted back to an 11-month-old in speech and 15 months old in gross and fine gross motor skills. So right now he's a little bit behind. But yet I know he's not where the other kids are. I actually took him to work with me today, and I put him in a 2K class, which he would be in this year, holding back a year. And I noticed he was able to complete tasks, but he wasn't able to like socialize as well as the other kids. That's something we've always struggled with. And then, of course, he's not able to take the cues like other kids. I know that the neurologist recommended the half day, and I really want to do it because it's what I've always wanted him to tell me. Because when I pulled him out, it was such a hard decision, but I knew I had to do what was right for his future. So I was like, no, we've got to put him in ABA as many hours as the insurance gives us. But what is your advice? How can I prepare him from here to August to get him ready? Because I'm so happy that they recommended him going back, but I'm absolutely terrified that what if he doesn't meet their expectations? Another thing, I went full GAPS diet in December 26th. We went stage 1, and I got him potty trained in 2 weeks by changing his diet, like taking out all processed food. We got him potty trained. He's potty trained now. This is like a month and a half now. So I know he has that stage, and I know that you help a lot of people with that. But I'm scared about all the other stuff. I just need like advice from other moms who have been down this road. Like, I don't know what to do next. Like, I know he can do it, and I speak it into existence, and I pray, and I tell him, no, you can do it. A lot of them can do it. Now last night for the first time, he said, I want mommy. And I was just like, like he didn't say I want cookie. We don't give him a cookie, but he didn't say I want water. He said, I want mommy. And that was something huge. So I know he's getting there, but I'm scared to the point where I'm shaking right now because I'm so scared of the thought of him going to a regular 3K because he's gonna look different. What can I do? Like, what can I do from here to there?
Okay. First, take
That's
a
a
breath.
lot.
Yes.
I know. That's
I
a
want you
lot
to take
to
a breath,
spill.
and I want you to like fucking pat yourself on the back if you haven't already. You've done amazing things for him.
Thank
You already
you.
know, like your story was a lot like mine, that you've come so far in such a small amount of time. This is what's possible, everybody. Whatever it is, she's trying lots of things, trying things to get to the results that she has today. All right. So now we're on to a very beautiful stage, which is his next moment, his next level, right? So he's gotten to the point where he can communicate pretty basic wants and needs. Is that where we're at right now? Okay.
Yes.
And now the idea is come August, you wouldn't put him in this program until August. Is that right?
Yes.
Why would you do that? Why would you wait till August?
Because the insurance has already approved our hours until August. And so he goes 7 hours a day. And right now they know what 3K is expecting of him. So now they're like, okay, we're going to get him ready. We're going to work on all these things that he needs to do. I go meet with our BCBA twice a week. And I like just tell her, like, what are we doing? What can I implement at home? And she's like, we're going to get him ready as much as we can. We have time. When he went to ABA in March of last year, he was nonverbal. He wasn't potty trained. He couldn't even focus for more than 10 seconds. You could put blocks in front of him and he would just hit them out of the way. He just loved seeing things move. So she's like, look at how much we've done in a year. Like, imagine what we can do. We still have a lot of time. Like,
yes.
So
amazing.
That's
so
why we're waiting till August.
Question is, right? So like we want to get him as battle ready for K3 as possible. So this is what I would do if he was my baby. There's a couple of things. One is he's at a stage now where it's time to take a jump. This was Steve Harvey. I read this book from Steve Harvey. I absolutely love it. You guys have to search for it. It's a YouTube. He teaches, he hosts a Family Feud, and before one of his Family Feud episodes, he did this video called Jump. And that you're just going to have to jump. And when you jump, you're taking the leap of faith that this is the right next step and everything's going to be okay. And God's always got my back. And he said, don't get me wrong. You're going to jump and you're going to smack into some rocks. You're going to scrape your knee. It's going to be a little bumpy, but you always have to jump. And this is where she's at. And she's had such an ability to be so hands-on to get him where he is today. And I remember how this felt, because I had to start to release the reins and let him enter the world, or let my daughter in my example, enter the world again. And it was even now, it's still a very hard thing for me to let go of, but I have to jump. So what you need to do between now and August, if he were my boy, I would start getting him in scenarios with other children as soon as possible. It's not going to be about following directions for him. If he is following the trajectory of my daughter, it's not going to be about academics. It's not going to be about following directions. It's not even going to be about communication, although we will see a major uptick of that. What we want to see is more like dialoguing, right? More, I want mommies. I feel happy. I feel sad. I won. I lost. We want to build on the basics that he has now. The best way to do that is get him now with peer role models. So the way I did this with Juliana, and everyone's coaching in my program is based on where their child's at. So if you were in the program, we'd start to create a blueprint based upon where your son is at. So to give you a taste of what that would look like, there'd be two things I'd be doing right now between February and August. Number one is I would be having every fucking play date I could have at my house. I want as many kids flowing through there while the RBT and the BCBA are there, because I want them to be able to structure the time at first. And then what's going to happen is after time, we want to see them back off a bit and see how he interacts naturally in that environment. That's going to be the best preparation you can give him. It's not about following directions or turn taking. He's kind of got that. It sounds like the next level is being a part of this community, integrating with these other children, because these children that he'll be in this class with are all going to be neurotypical. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Which is an amazing opportunity. So we want to capitalize. We want him to land as much on his feet as possible come August. So if he were my boy, what we'd be putting into plans isn't necessarily the one-on-one time with the RBTs. It's more about getting as many children as possible around him that are right around that age group that he can start integrating. And the way we did it at first was very structured with her. And then after a while, we'd start to fade the presence of the RBT. They'd be there, but they wouldn't be involved in the direct interactions of the children. So that's how I would do it. And then the other thing I would seriously consider is that, all right, if they think he's ready in August, then maybe we can test run something now. And I'm not saying a full day, maybe we find a half day program that would be down to have the RBT come in and shadow. So if he's got 7 hours a day, what if I could do a 2-hour program at a local, preschool? And most of them are pretty down because they want the tuition, right? If my RBT can come in and just shadow. And basically when they come in, this is what happened, Juliana. Juliana went from the most restrictive ABA classroom. Then after about 3 months, I realized she was the peer role model. She was the top of the classroom, so we had to go. She went into a 12-1-2. She spent about 1.5 years there. And then at that point, I realized she again was like rising to the top. She had to go. And then that's when we ended up going to a private preschool. I left that program in February. It's so ironic because you're talking to me in February and you have a boy that's a lot like my girl. And I asked the school if they would allow my RBT to come in for a few hours a day. It was even a full day program. I made sure to move her from one full day program to another. And I said, would you let my RBT come in? They said, absolutely. RBT came in, BCBA came in. They collaborated with the teachers. Her language, when I did that, fucking exploded.
Oh, that's what I want. Like
time, if we can get him, and this is the support we offer in the program. So I don't want you to waste time. We could be using this time so effectively right now. The one-on-one time was in addition to doing that with Juliana. So just food for thought for you. I'm so proud of you. You did so much for him. You should be so excited. His future is very bright. This is not a fucking unicorn story, everybody. This is possible for every child in here. You should be very proud of yourself, Laura.
Thank you. I can't wait to see what he does. I know he's going to do amazing things.
All right. Was that helpful?
It was. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I'll talk to you soon. All right. All righty, everybody. I think that we're going to do one more wheel of names. And we're going to wrap it for tonight. I hope this was helpful for everyone. Please keep going. I love it. Oh, all right. I'll take one more. I'll do one more. I will do Josephine. Josephine will be next for coaching, and then that's it. We're gonna wrap. She's like, one more. I'll do one more. You've asked. All right, let's do wheel of names real quick for my private session. Private session with me. Are you ready, Jen? All right, here we go. I'm a Laura. I hope you're saying your name right. You're gonna email Michelle at michellebrodgers.com. We're gonna set you up with Armando to get your private session with him. And here we go. Come on. We were having some technical difficulties on Jen's side. She's my assistant. Why don't you just roll it on your end, Jen, without sharing the screen? Let us know in the chat who the winner is, and then I will take Josephine. This will be the last.
It's Vanessa.
It's Vanessa. Vanessa who? Vanessa, I just want to pull her near. Her name isn't here
anymore.
Nope, then roll it again. You got to be here for drawing. Roll it again. Roll it again. You don't have to share your screen, so you can stop sharing your screen. And I'm going to take Josephine and just tell her who the answer is in the chat. All right, Josephine, I'm promoting you to panelist. That means that your screen's going to flash. There she comes. All right, great, everybody. I hope this is helpful tonight. It was fun. From Arizona. Josephine, are you there? Where are you, Josephine? We lost her. Oh, there she is. Josephine. Josephine. Are you connecting, Josephine?
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you? I love this program so much. It has really helped me. My son and I are thriving. We are 60% away. Oh my God. Every time I go back to watch the video, I put my faith on one day we're going to get to Juliana, and we are moving there. Yeah,
yes.
So become and say hi, everyone.
Hi, baby. Hi, baby. How are you?
Goodbye.
Hi.
Yeah, that's it. You can talk. I'm so excited. My son can talk, can read, can say his first and the last name, can spell them. He can write his first name. We are thriving, Michelle. I'm so happy.
I'm so proud of you. Proud of you, Josephine. Fucking A. Sorry, I know he's not listening.
I'm so happy. Your program has really helped me so much. So it's fully potty trained. It's going to tell you, can I use the bathroom, please?
It's going to come on and say all this stuff.
It's going to tell you whatever he wants to eat. Can I have rice, please? Can I have muffin, please? Oh my God.
How fast after being in the program?
He comes to me and say, "Mommy," at times he sing, I'll tell him, "Can you sing mommy's song?" He's gonna tell me, "My mommy is the best." Oh my God. Michelle,
Oh
you
my
don't know
gosh.
how happy I am. This program, as I can, every time you put it on, that all your session is gonna start, I'm always there.
Oh,
I am
I love
always
it.
there. Like, I can't wait. The last one we were going to join, that the network was so bad. Oh, it really hurt my mind. I was like,
Ah.
oh my God, I was prepared. I just wanted this program to keep going. Please don't stop.
Oh, I love it. No, I love it.
Please.
I'm gonna do this till my dying breath.
Please and please and please, if we have more mothers out there that don't come into this program, we want you all to come and start watching. Do you know where my faith hang up? Whenever you make your testimony about Juliana, I hold on to it for my son. Every time the first video you always make, I want to watch it. When you're giving your testimony with the tears, oh my God, I always hold on to it for my son. And we are getting there. Michelle, thank you so much.
Oh, Josephine,
Thank you, thank you so
what a great way
much.
to end the night. You're gonna be
In
teary-eyed.
fact, I
absolutely
know
love
my
it.
son now. My son know me. My son know the siblings. My son knows everybody. My son is back to life. Imagine my son on Saturday, we were going out. The big brother locked the door, the car door closed. She was like, "Where is my brother?" I was like, "Who is talking?"
Oh my goodness.
Michelle, I can't wait. Even my son can tell me the friends he has in class. When he can tell me days up, I'll be like, "Today, where are we going to?" Oh, he's gonna tell me I'm going to school. What is today? He's gonna tell me today is Monday, and truly that day was a Monday. Imagine, I would tell him, when you go to school, he's gonna tell me, "Sit on my chair." I'm gonna tell him, "Listen to," he's gonna reply me, "My teacher." I'm gonna tell him, he will tell me, "My color." I'm gonna tell me, "Make sure you write." He's gonna tell me my name, Toby, Tobi. Michelle, in fact, I'm crying inside of me. I'm so excited. Just watching your program, this little program, I'm not gonna call it a big program, the heaviest program. Oh, I am so happy. I'm excited that I know my son knows me now. I swear. Even in the church, my son will tell me, "Mommy, it's offering time." I'll be like, "How do you know?" Oh my God, Michelle, you've done so wonderful. This is a very big job. You've done so good to me and my family. In fact, the teachers are like, he is in an inclusion class of 11 students. He is not separated. They put him now, he sings his goodbye song. Everything is being taught in school. My son comes home and tell me everything. If I ask him, "What is the name of which school do you go to?" Just listen to his interview, please. Toby, which school do you go to?
Conservatory.
Lab
school.
What is your name?
Toby is my name.
How old are you?
I am 5.
Do you hear him? Michelle, you've done. In fact, I don't know what to say. I'm short of words. I got my son back from non-verbal. Michelle, from non-verbal, my son can talk, express himself, tell me everything. He tell me it's cool. Toby, what grade are you?
K1.
Do you hear him?
Yes,
K1.
I hear him.
He tells me everything. He tells me the name of his teacher. He tells me everything, Michelle.
Josephine and I did not plan this.
I am so happy.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Kisses you.
Thank you. Toby, blow her a kiss. Blow her a kiss.
You my boy. You my son from another mother.
Blow her a kiss. Blow her a kiss.
I love you. I love
blow her
you.
a kiss. Thank you, Michelle.
Kisses, Joseph. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh my gosh, I did not know she was gonna do that. I'm so happy. This is just like, this is the work, man, for me. I mean, we've had hundreds of families come through masterclass, and it just blows my mind, you know, what we can just do. And it's amazing. So, okay, so I think we had our second winner. Thank you for everybody coming tonight. Thank you for Armando for being a trooper. I was so happy to serve. Kisses, everybody. Remember, join the masterclass tonight. Program bonuses, 2 privates with me, 2 privates with Armando, 5 months in the program instead of 3. Take advantage of this. Bonuses go away at midnight. Kisses, everybody. Bye, everyone.